Hi guys. For all of the YouTube audience, this is I'm sharing this after a live event that I'm doing on my Facebook page. And I want to cut right to the chase. I'm in the car, you guys, so that we can have, at least some peace and quiet, because my niece is home. I'm at my parents'. I go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So, and it's really, really nice out for the first time in a while. So, excuse me while I open the door. So just a few things that I wanted to go over with Gannon. A lot of people have been asking me about areas. I think I saw a comment somewhere that said law enforcement is still looking for tips as far as areas. The first thing about that is I think that law enforcement has a radius of some kind. This is the way it feels energetically. So there's a radius, okay? And unfortunately, it feels like they're discluding areas to get to a smaller radius, if that makes sense, okay? But the areas that I picked up on that I think are important would be no road. One being that they were searching there. The second being that I picked up that location before they moved the search towards there on 105. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, the Castle Rock location, because I was saying Castle Rock, and I'm pretty sure that there was nobody else mentioning Castle Rock. And then all of a sudden, in her interview, Castle Rock shows up, and specifically it would be down near Prairie Hawk Drive. There's like an overpass for, I think, is it 24? My brain with these numbers. And underneath there's some sort of gully, how do you say it? Drainage pipe type thing. So that's the other location. There's another location that the 3-year-old pointed out, which I have not said publicly, but it's Bandon Road. All right, and it's funny because she kept calling him. I thought she was saying Brandon, and I'm like, his name's not Brandon, it's Gannon. And she just kept giving me this look. This little kid, I swear. She's so mean. We have the same initials, by the way, just so you know. Anyway, so she kept calling him what I thought was Brandon. I'm correcting her to Gannon. So then, after all is said and done, and I made it public, some of the things that she said, everyone's like let her look at the map. Anyway, so she pointed herself to the Bandon Road area. All right. Not only that, but when I said to her, I said, Jane, I said, they didn't find Gannon yesterday. She was like, oh no, they didn't. And I said, no, but they're going searching today. She said, hooray, that's great news, or something crazy that a almost 4-year-old should not say. And when I proceeded to show her, somebody had posted in one of the groups how they'd kind of triangulated the area that they were searching when it was 83 and 105. And so I said, yeah, they're going to, and she said, hooray. And I said, this is the area they're going to search. She said, but he's not there. So matter of fact, she's like, but he's not there. I'm like, okay, so where is he? This kid starts moving the map, and she said, right there. She picked the same exact spot. So I'm not saying that is it. I'm saying that, there's a lot of data that supports that it's not coincidence, okay? Also, on that note, she spread evidence all over the countryside. When I said that, I've been saying it for a while. She not only threw stuff all around the countryside, she moved things afterwards. All right, because there is some question. Let me move down to the rental car and the mileage and things like that. I don't get the feeling that she took and put his body in the car and moved it. Okay, but I think that she moved things related. Okay. And the other thing about the rental, because everybody's up in arms about the mileage, I just called my daughter because due to a series of unfortunate events, she's had to have a lot of rentals to fix her lease. And she said that sometimes they'll ask you on the return visit when you have unlimited miles, what's your mileage in? And she said, but they'll check it later on. However, when you receive your receipt, they're going to do that to get you out of there, and then they'll check it later. And that's not a definite, but it is a possibility, if that makes sense. And I don't think that she had it in her mind, like, let me say it's 1,000 miles just in case in another month, this happens. I think she probably just wasn't paying attention and just was like, everything else she does, like, I don't know, 954 type of thing. Okay. What else? Justice will be served. She's not going to get out of this. And I've been thinking about certain things, like, say they try to cut a deal, okay? It's got to have to be something, how do you say it? Substantial. And there's not much wiggle room given the charges that she has, okay? Maybe if they said, well, death or this, but I think there's too much question about the death penalty and where it's going, and a lot of other things. However, that to an untrained mind, that may be it may be possible, okay? And I get a 50-50 probability feeling on that. Unfortunately, because of the sociopath tendencies and all this other stuff, there's going to be an aspect of her lying to herself, not just to everybody else, okay? Because she paints a picture of how she thinks she is. So, yeah, she definitely moved things. And if she moved him, I don't think it was like from point A to point B. It would be at point A and then taking him and maybe making it more obscure in some way. Or taking him and burying him type thing. Give me 1 second. No, not burying him. No, it wouldn't have been. So staging it somehow. And that's what I'm getting dizzy again. Staging it. Like, pushing it like more under brush and putting stuff around it type thing. And somehow making the depth of how the depth should look there more deep or something. That's the first thing. Give me a second. And then also maybe doing something like staging how it looks, so it looks more like something other than what it was. But she's not gonna, none of that's gonna, it's not gonna matter. In other words, it's very highly likely, let's say that Gannon's body's never found, which no, I'm not alluding to that or saying that, because I don't feel, I get like a 90% feeling, energetically that it's going to be found. But let's look at the 10%, okay? Logically and analytically, all right? I feel like there's already to this point 75% chance that if his body was not found, that they have enough to convict her. 75%. And we're at the very beginning. She hasn't even made it to Colorado yet. She's close. Like 2 hours away, I feel like. Something like that. She's close. However, she's not there yet. So think about now that before you kind of had to push and pull things and push buttons to get, they're so funny. They're showing me like when you put money in a gumball machine. I'm like, that's kind of right. You never know what color you're going to get type thing. But now they have her on their field. All right. So yeah, it can apply, but I'm saying that the not necessarily the actual factual law, Galen. I'm saying, and we're speaking right now of the death penalty thing. I'm saying the fact that it's even going in that direction. It says something about the climate in the area. All right. However, this whole charade thing that she's put on is definitely not helping. But we can look at that at a different time. I also, and I didn't put it on a live or a video, still feel as though Petco plays an important role. And the way that it came through to me, and not too long ago, I kept going over and over in my head about Petco. Like, why twice? Why twice? I didn't pick up that she left her phone there. I felt like she didn't have her phone, but she had her watch. So what the hell are you doing? All right. I feel like she stole something at Petco, and I'm going to put it out there because I can't get around it. It's dark colored. It may be rope. I actually have a screenshot of what I think it might be. All right. And I think she brought it back and left it there. That's what I think. All right. I guess we'll have to see how that plays out. Someone just asked if I felt that Al knew about the abuse prior to this. I feel like, not actual factual, like, oh, I see what you did, because it was so, like, played, how do you say it? Downplayed and lied about. Okay? That type of thing. That round concrete construction tube would be, that I just saw someone comment about, would be related to what I saw in Castle Rock. If you go to Prairie Hawk Drive and look directly across the street where it's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th Street type thing, you'll see what I'm saying. There's an overpass. Oh, here comes my daughter with her loud music. Right on time. But underneath, this kid, underneath there's there's a tunnel that would look like a construction tube. Not only that, but Prairie Hawk Drive looks, in this area of Prairie Hawk Drive, it looks like there's a lot of that type of area. This kid, like, we live in, this is my parents' house. We live in a quiet town. What, bang, bang. So that's in that type of area. Again, she must have, I told her I was going live. I just talked to her. Those are the areas that stand out, and Red Rock Canyon still stands out to me. And again, with her spreading things along the countryside, I wouldn't be surprised. I think we pretty much covered everything. The other thing that stands out to me is the 33, and I don't know why, because I generally, you guys that have had readings from me know that, and I've said this, that when it directly applies to me or my situation, I try not to focus on it unless it keeps coming around and around and around. And I just looked at the watchers. It says 129, and if you look, so you guys know it's real. Can you see it? See the 27 and 29? That's what I was going to address. So my brother died when he was 33, okay? It was 133. It went down to 132, and it went back up to 133. I swear to God, you can't make this shit up. So my brother died when he was 33. Throughout this whole thing and all these lives, you'll see me, and I'm like, oh, there's my brother. Oh, it's 33. Here he is. Not, doing the whole dumb blonde, because there's one of those in here, too. Not saying, oh, shit, and putting these things together. Anyway, so Gannon's birthday is the 29th. My brother's birthday is also the 29th, not of September, but of October. My birthday's in September, okay? That was my first instance of grief ever in my life. We didn't have grandparents, all that other stuff. Anyway, second instance of grief in my life, which was just a year ago, is my cousin Robbie, who's like my little brother. His birthday is January 27th, and that's the day that Gannon went missing, all right? And most likely, and we'll have to see what, the facts of the case when they come out. Most likely that's the day he passed as well. Again, today is 3/3. However, 3/11 also reminds me of 3/3, and I've seen other people talk about, I think his name's Brian, and the same thing, the 3/3. I think that Gannon will be found. I think he'll be found very shortly. And I think once that happens, then this is like nothing. Okay? Like nothing. On that note, I think we've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. I also think that she's trying somehow to set herself up for some sort of insanity type plea. Okay? But let me let you know. You'd have to be insane during the commission of the crime. And it's quite apparent by her mouth and the things that have come out of it And the actions, which you should always pay more attention to, her actions definitely do not support that type of defense. So guess what? You're shit out of luck. All right. Lori, I covered about the rental earlier on in the video. You'll have to rewatch. Yeah, see, Tara, that's what I said. Tara, because when I post this to YouTube, they can't see your comments, but I find it highly unlikely as well. And in the beginning of the video, I addressed that as far as a plea deal, that it would have to be something substantial. All right. And unfortunately, and I'm not saying this because I think she should take the plea, but you know what? Enough's enough. You're going away forever. Like, where is he? Unfortunately, with the sociopath type of mind, she's lying to herself. Okay, and either justifying it completely about what the hell happened, or telling herself she didn't do it and trying to make herself crazy. All right. No, it's all right. Don't be sorry if you're late. You just have to rewatch after I post it to Facebook. All right. I think that her family has. I'm not going to say that they've directly talked to them, and I'm not going to say they haven't. This is what I will say. I think that their attitude towards the situation has completely done a 180, let's say, over the last 2 weeks. All right? The side gate and the key. I think that he probably tried to run from her in the house. That's what I think. You know, and this is more logical, analytical thinking based on what's, I don't know if it's factual information, but, you know, the meat of the stories that have come out that he ran from her. All right. I don't know. I don't really want to testify to who I think could have said something or not. I think because I don't want to take away from the fact that she's done enough, said enough, you know, and been shady as hell enough that it's all on her. You know, all right. So I think that's pretty much all of. And also they're telling me don't be surprised if she doesn't do some exclusive Dateline type thing or try to. Oh Lord, she's a mess. I can't stand her. Ugh, I can't stand her. All right, guys. If you have any questions or there's things or areas that you think I should cover, that would help me, because my mind goes blank when I start doing these things. Like the areas type thing that I think should be paid attention to, that was easy. Then I'm like, what the hell else am I going to say? And that's just, part of my, my intuitive reasoning, I suppose. All right, guys, have a great day.